Last semester, I had a conversation with a class full of undergraduates that re-electrified my faith journey. See, I was teaching them from the book, The Cross and the Lynching Tree by James Cone. And within that book, James Cone compares the torture device used in the South, the lynching tree, that was used to threaten populations of African American people into submission. And he compared it to the cross that Jesus hung on, which was used by the Roman government as a torture device to bring the people that they controlled into submission. And he said, theologically, when we start to connect these two, we start to understand the context of Jesus and how close Jesus is to marginalized people. Well, as we got deeper and deeper into the book, we started wrestling with some theological truths, and the question we came to has been a central question for many people, which is, where is God when bad things happen? And we concluded in that class that day that that question is nonsensical to so many people of the world. You see, what does that question mean? Where is God when bad things happen? When you live your life in the shadow of the lynching tree? When your friends or your family members could be subject to that torture at any day for reasons beyond your control? Even more so when the very person who preaches the cross on Sunday might be presiding over the lynching tree that afternoon. And even more so than that, when we look at the question, where is God when bad things happen? We have to realize that that's a question that comes from a relatively privileged condition. You see, for most of the people watching this video today, bad things happening are interruptions to an otherwise controlled, orderly, and comfortable life. But for many people around the world, bad things happening, or at least to us what seems like bad things happening, is their everyday bread. Yet those communities have some of the most vibrant faith of any communities around the world. The truth about God is growing and going forth in those places like never before, and well unlike the places that are more comfortable. So what do we do with this question, where is God when bad things happen? Well, we have to realize that God is with us when bad things are happening, and that is what the gospel promises us, not comfort. In Psalms 34, it tells us that God is close to the brokenhearted, and so we can expect God's comfort when we're sad and God to weep alongside of us. In the book of Romans, it tells us that God will take vengeance for us, and so when we have anger over something that is unjust, we can realize that God is equally angry over that thing that is unjust, and that God has the power to bring change to that. And the third place that God is when bad things are happening is that God is in us and with us to bring change to those things. You see, we have to realize that a lot of bad things happening have to do more with people than with God. When we look at things like famines or racial injustice or poverty, those are systems that we have power in our hands to shape and decide what is important. And so we ask God to strengthen our hands and come alongside of us as we apply wisdom to those places. So the next time that we're tempted to ask, where is God when bad things are happening? I encourage us to ask a different question. How can I get involved, and how can I bring God into the situation? The God that's in me and with me and lives to bring justice.